This is what happens when you have a city completely taken over by young, single mothers. You cannot have a society where 80, 70, 80% of the people are born out of wedlock and have that city survive and thrive. It will eventually destroy the city. It just will. And it is destroying the city of Montgomery as we speak. Now, here's the other story, and then we got another crime. But would you believe it? Another scandalous crime. Somebody calling in on hold. You'll recognize his voice. 3 shot, including juvenile, on Garden Street in Montgomery. I looked up Garden Street. It's up there by the Northern Boulevard.
Yeah.
3 people were shot Wednesday afternoon off of Garden Street, 100 block of Garden Street. 1 man pronounced dead at the scene. The 2 others who were injured were picked up on Broadway Street, including a juvenile and a second man. Broadway Street's about a mile away from Garden Street. They have been transported to the hospital, conditions unknown. Yeah, so there's that.
All kinds of shootings going on.
Welcome to Montgomery. Bo Holt.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bowling Hall Holt the Fourth.
You'll have to go ahead, Ben.
How do you do?
I'm calmed down a little bit as opposed to the way I was yesterday evening. And you'll have to forgive me. I got about 3 hours worth of stuff I want to say that I have to condense down to about 60 seconds.
Give us the Bo Holt Cliff Notes.
Well, first of all, just let me start that in trying to be good citizens, my wife and I have started working very hard on our front yard, getting treatments on it, doing all, trying to, good neighbors like to keep their property looking, good and everything.
Well, as a citizen of Montgomery, I thank you.
Well, I'm glad that you do, but apparently not everybody has the same levels of consideration.
Really?
So I'm minding my own business after a tough day in the house, watching Night Court. And my wife comes in, and then she says she had to go back out to her car.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but what channel does Night Court come on now?
Comes on LAFF, LAFF 17.2 over the air.
Okay.
Good show.
I loved it.
Well, my wife comes running back into the house, screaming my name, come outside, somebody's crashed in the front yard. And I'm like, what? So I run back to the back, put on some clothes, get my protection, go running back outside. And lo and behold, there's a purple Mazda just sitting in my front yard with the front tires blown and completely off the rims, still stinking of burning rubber and burning engine.
Wow.
And I'm asking what in the world happened. And my wife says, I don't know. I just got up and, I heard this noise and turned around and looked. And the car just came careening into the yard. Got up, got out of the car, and just took off down the road. So, of course, I immediately knew, well, the car was stolen, and I figured he was running from somebody. Cutting the long story short, yes, it turns out he was fleeing from the police, and yes, the car was stolen. And I'm just sitting there thinking, when I got home, since I had a yard treatment done yesterday, I was thinking about watering the grass and being out in the lawn when that happened. And I didn't because it looked like it was going to rain. My wife likes to garden and do stuff in the yard. She loves being outside. Now, if I'd been cutting the grass and on my lawnmower,
we could have lost you.
Yeah, there's a chance I couldn't have even heard the SOB coming through. And do you think, I'm complaining about my yard, but do you think that this scumbag would have thought twice if he had hit and killed one of us or somebody else on the road? Do you even think that would have crossed his mind?
Probably not.
Of course not. I'm getting dizzy again. I need to calm. Baron, I promised you I'd be calm.
You did. You promised you would be calm, and you've lived up to the billing, Bo.
Take a deep breath, my friend.
I keep saying it over and over. It's not a Montgomery problem as much as it's a societal problem, and there's nowhere you can go to get away from it until changes. Baron, you hit the nail on the head. As long as children are being raised, in many cases, sadly, and I'm not being facetious here, like cattle, and they know no love, and they know no fathers, and in many cases, generations where they don't even know what a father is, it's not going to stop. And It is tragic any way You look at it.
Bo Holt, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
See, he's going to live longer because he called.
Well, not only that, he's going to live longer. The fact that he was not mowing his front yard. 272-9228 is the number to chime in with Baron Coleman and Ben Hagler on a Thursday.